Good morning to you this morning. My name is Ayodele-Bamisaiye. It's always a pleasure for me to come to you like this on Friday morning to talk about all things personal finance and enterprise. It is a pleasure I do not take for granted. I'm coming to you live from our offices here in Calgary, Dexteritas Professional Corporation. And this morning I'm going to be asking a simple question. Why enterprise? Why start the business? Why the side hustle? What's the point? Why are we doing all this? We'll talk about that a bit more in a short while, but before I get into that, I just wanted to bring to our attention that if you have the modest income persuasion and for any reason you do not have your tax returns filed, then you can reach out to my friends at the Financial Empowerment Initiative via email at taxes@thefei.ca, and somebody will be excited to have an appointment booked for you so that you can have your personal tax returns filed. We consider it an honor to be able to help you secure the benefits that the government of Canada has put in place for you to be able to live the life that you choose. So if that is your situation, kindly reach out. We are happy to support you. Today, Tyler Nathan, the Executive Director of the Financial Empowerment Initiative, will be speaking to seniors about financial abuse. It's a virtual session. I think you can find details of it at thefei.ca. It's starting in a few minutes, actually. So, hey, let's see. If you can make it, that would be great. If you can't, let a senior know, because guess what? Financial literacy is for everybody. That's one. Founders Lounge will be back shortly. The June edition is scheduled to happen at the platform on June 18th, Thursday. It was open 5:30 p.m. If that's something that a community that you are excited to be part of, to step into, to connect with, there will be entrepreneurs, business owners, people who are considering enterprise that will be in the room. So it will be a great opportunity. Show up, say hi to somebody, make a new friend, make a connection, find a co-founder. We are all in the room, there to support you. So that's that for now. So I asked the question earlier, why enterprise? Yeah, because you have a job, you're making some money, you're making a difference for yourself. So why bother? Why take on the additional hassle, right? Because all the financial literacy for most of the personal finance information you get out there focuses on how much you spend, right? Cut the coffee, don't eat out so much, avoid bank charges, review your bank statements, create a budget and stick to it. Don't blow your budget. Save more, save. That's all most of the personal finance information out there focuses on what is going out. But if you take a look at it closely, like any reservoir, there are always two ways to keep the reservoir full. Either you fill it at a rate faster than you are emptying it, or you refuse to empty it at all. So once it's full, and then you never let anything out. Those are the only way to keep a reservoir full. And your personal net worth is exactly that. It's a reservoir. It's how much you keep of what you earn. So, over the since the beginning of this year, we've spoken about building buffers, financial buffers, building margins, savings, creating structure in your finances. We talked about the 5-account wealth system. Talked about strategy. I recently dropped an article on LinkedIn about a three-step tax framework, speaking to compliance and tax strategy. So those have all been components of the conversation to this point. This is the first time that we're going to talk about how do we fill that reservoir and why, what's the point? Because guess what? If we've gone through this entire process talking about savings, talking about managing your finances, talking about building a structure that supports your accumulation, talking about your tax strategy. All of that pretty much addresses what to do with what comes in. Now we are going to talk about why do you want to make sure there's more coming in, and what are the ways that you can go about that, right? This is the thing. As long as you're focusing on savings and spending, then you're looking at only one part of the equation. And that puts a ceiling on how far you can go. That means that your net worth is tied to your earning capacity. If you do not raise the ceiling on your earning capacity, then you are stuck at that level and you are sentenced to canceling subscriptions, penny pinching, and bean counting, and that's pretty much it. I know I'm an accountant, pun intended. So to get away from that wall, that's why we are having this conversation. We've talked about how finances are in 3 stages. If you watched one of my earlier sessions, you make money first to survive, then to stabilize, then to thrive or strategize. So once you get beyond that survival level where you can say, okay, I am making enough to pay my bills, keep the lights on, live the kind of life I want, then you are able to say, okay, I'm able to put away something, however small, for the future, building some stability for yourself. The next phase requires you to take a look at yourself and say, hey, if all my income is being consumed or is fully utilized at the moment, what I am putting away, what's happening to it, how do I really grow this net worth, right? So the difference between your survival stability lifestyle and your thriving, strategizing, wealth building lifestyle is that between that phase 2 and 3, you are no longer thinking about how to keep what you have. You are thinking about how to raise your economic ceiling, which is basically, how do I earn more? And that is why we are having this conversation. Now, the beautiful thing is that this is June. It's a summer, everybody has some kind of downtime planned. Whether that downtime is a staycation or a vacation or just every other weekend, a slightly longer weekend every week this month. This is a time of perfect opportunity for you to sit back and reflect. Because when it comes to raising the ceiling, the question you're always asking is, how can I earn more? Do I have a skill I can monetize? Do I want to start something? Do I want to buy a business? Do I want to take knowledge that I already have, or relationships that I already have, or access that I already have, and convert those to earning capacity for myself in some way? Now, that way definitely does not have to be a corporation. By the way, let me bring it to your attention. Every company at some point, however brief, was basically a piece of paper and a zero balance bank account. Every single company, irrespective of how big they are today. So enterprise doesn't necessarily mean starting a company. It just means taking something that you have, whether it's a skill, a knowledge base, access to something, a resource, and converting that thing into a steady stream of cash by solving problems for other people or creating value for other people. So you have something, you take that thing, use it to create value for somebody else, either by solving a problem or actually growing an asset that they have, and then they pay you back for doing that for them. That is basically what enterprise is. So however we dress it up, you dress it up as a sole proprietorship, a corporation, a side hustle, however you dress it up really is irrelevant. But the dressing kind of matters at a certain point. We'll talk about actually, we talked about the dressing to an extent last week because taxation is where that lies. But that dressing starts to matter when you start to make money. So how do you want to go about this? Like I said, this is a fantastic time for you to be thinking about that and doing something about it. So, whether you're going to be providing a service, whether you're going to be monetizing a skill, whether you're starting a side hustle, a project, or whether you're solving or whatever problem that you choose to solve for the community around you. Actually, you can choose to solve a problem for a community that is far removed from you, as long as it's a community that can pay for those services. We'll come to that eventually at some point in these conversations. This is a good time for you to reflect on that and say, hey, if I'm going to raise my economic ceiling and I don't want to return to ground zero, which is what quitting your job is, then that means I need to do something incremental. Summer is a good time for you to think about that. So look into, take some time, do a self-inventory. What do I have that I can convert into value for other people? So whether it's a skill, like I said, or it's access to a resource, or something that's been lying in your garage that could make a difference for somebody else, or that could make a difference for a community. Take a look at it and think about how you can do something about it. And then in the downside side of time of the summer, try and get something started. You are not doing this simply because you want to have more money to throw around. You are doing this because you want to create another tap that fills your reservoir. I want you to ask yourself a question. If my income was going to double in the next 12 months, how would that happen? I can tell you for free that it's not by wishing. It's definitely not by hoping, because hope is not a strategy. I can tell you that. And it's not by waiting. It comes by taking action. So first step is think about it. Second step is do something about it. Don't spend too much time doing. You get more results when you take action. If you're biased for action, you will fail, you will get it wrong, but eventually you will get it right if you keep focused on the results that you want. With that, next week we're going to take this conversation a bit further. Should I start a side hustle? Should I start a business? Should I quit my job or not? Those are the kind of questions we're going to be answering next week. And I am always glad to be able to come and have these conversations. My name is Ayodele-Bamisaiye of Dexteritas Professional Corporation. I hope you found some value in today. This is Finance Friday. Think about this. If you raise your economic ceiling, you create space that is available to you for the benefit of yourself and your loved ones. It's Finance Friday, and that's all I got for you today. I'll say bye for now.